Ahoy, morning breathers. Ahoy, morning breathers. And we're going to keep with that. We're going to keep trying to do that. Ahoy. Welcome to Morning Breath. It is Wednesday. It is, I don't know, the 18th day of September or something like that. And we're all here, except for Tim's not. Tim is gone this week. He is off somewhere. He didn't even tell us where he's going, I don't think. Did he, Nick? He just said, I'm not going to be here.
Conference or something.
It's something, whatever. He could be doing anything. He could be golfing. He could be just sitting at home watching us on YouTube because Tim does not have Facebook. So, who knows? Tim's out this week, so you're stuck with me, and here we are. And Denise chimed in first this morning, so she gets the cookie. Good morning, Denise. So in the studio with me today, of course, like always, is Uber producer Nick.
Good morning.
And I brought in a friend of mine and a friend of yours. He is in our comments all the time. This is my friend Ray Bennett.
Ahoy.
Ahoy, says Ray. Ray and I have been friends literally since kindergarten, since we were 5 years old. Ahoy, Jeff. And so we've known each other that long. We kind of mostly went through school together. I moved away for a while and came back. You moved away for a brief period of time and came back in 5th grade, I think, right? Yep. Went to Ottumwa, and then we both ended up at Iowa Wesleyan, and so we have been literally friends since we were 5.
Right.
And for some reason, you stuck around. I don't know. You keep calling and keep showing up and doing things.
Look at you and your fancy spectacles.
I know. I'm waiting. Yeah, my mom says, morning, and hey, Ray, and Bailey. So my glasses. So I got glasses yesterday, and I'm struggling with them a little bit. We're going to see what's happening here. So
did you pop for like the glasses where you could like the X-ray vision where you could see through your hand?
Yeah. I got the Superman glasses.
I get so these are progressives.
So I got the whole progressives. I've made it this point in my life and never have had glasses.
Right.
So this is my first pair of glasses.
Well, you had those cheaters for a while.
So it's only about the past 6 months I've had cheaters.
Right.
And I finally went to the eye doctor, and he says, well, yeah, one eye does this and one eye does that. And he says, you could use glasses, but whatever. And so here I am. We'll see if they stick.
Right. So,
because it's not like I'm not like a lot of people where if I take them off, I can't see anything.
Right, that's me.
Yeah, so I'm fine if I take them. Not fine. I can see better with them when I get used to them. But I got progressive. I'm trying to figure out how to hold my head to read, and
that'll come. Yeah, you'll be all right there. My progressives have a prescription here. I think I have trifocals. So a prescription here.
Yeah, but you're old.
Right, I am.
So, whatever.
Right, I'm coming on quadruple focals if they actually have
Quadruple, one on each side, put one in each corner. And
so, but my lenses don't have prescription here. So like when I'm driving.
Clear glass?
Yeah, it's clear glass. So when I'm driving, they make like a hourglass prescription here in the middle and down the bottom, but on the sides and in the middle, no prescription. So it's just wherever my eyes are supposed to move. So like when I'm driving, I have no peripheral. I have to turn my head.
Well, remind me not to drive with you.
Right.
Yeah. Remind me not to get in a car with you. And actually, you're not that great of a driver anyway.
No. So not being able to see things
doesn't help anything.
Right.
Well, maybe now I know why. Denise says I look smart in them, so I'm glad something helps do that. Because otherwise I don't know. But yeah, anyway, yes, I got glasses yesterday. So I don't know. We'll see.
Hey, you look good. Yeah.
Well, I look smart, apparently. I don't know. Denise maybe is too early in the morning for her to really tell, but who knows? So anyway, Ray is here. Ray's not afraid to call me out on things and do all that kind of stuff. So the Southeast Iowa Video Network is sponsored by KCTC. Thank you, Casey.
Thank you, Casey.
And our friend Willie in Mount Pleasant, Washington, and Fairfield, Hy-Vee and Hy-Vee Fast and Fresh. So thank you, Willie.
Thank you, Willie.
So got all that stuff out of the way. So Ray, what do you want to talk about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of a heavy question.
It is a heavy question. I brought you here and I said, hey, come in and we'll lead you all through this. And now I'm just going to dump it all on you. So the first thing I noticed this morning, I'm going through my new stuff, and I think it's the end of an era. Tupperware filed for bankruptcy.
Yeah, I saw that, Chapter 11.
Yeah.
So they didn't really kind of move forward. If you go to like Walmart or Target or wherever, there's, glass bottom and stuff like that. And Tupperware, I don't think it's in the stores, right?
I don't know. They used to just have Tupperware parties.
Right.
Which
And
I never got invited to.
it's kind of interesting. All of the things that were like Sears, the only way you can get stuff at one time, if you're a rural family, was through Sears. You had to get it out of a catalog,
You had to get out of a catalog.
Which was the original.
Look at you trying to segue.
What?
Oh, go ahead.
No, it was just
It was.
But Sears was the original Amazon, right? You had your Sears catalog.
It
I mean,
was.
you can get a house out of Sears.
Yeah,
You
I
could-
know.
And they would come to you on a train.
It's like it's like the IKEA of the day.
And
you had to put your own
Schwann's.
house together.
Schwann's was the original Uber Eats. They would bring the food out to you.
Yeah.
And they're still doing, I think, all right. But like
Swans,
Tupperware,
I have no idea. I haven't seen Swans guy in a long time. I think they're still around, but
Yeah.
I haven't seen them forever.
Avon was like that, where they'd
Avon.
have parties, so you'd have to go to the source.
Yeah, it's like Pampered Chef and some of these. Are they still around? Are they still doing all the parties? They kind of were on that same model, weren't they?
Right. Yeah.
I don't know if they're still around or not. Look at Jana. Jana, you show up and Jana shows up.
Yeah.
Morning, Jana.
Right.
Jeannie.
My house right now has probably got like 4 speakers on, like all over the house, because Jana's like fighting the fight on her own this morning. It's homecoming week in North Liberty.
Well,
so.
there you go. Well, good morning, Jana. You suppose Grayson's watching?
I highly doubt it. These are my kids, I think, are. Emerson might be watching.
I don't know.
13, 14 people there. So
Yeah.
But I'm sure my parents are watching. But
So for those that were here in June, we were trying to figure this out. Emerson was here for a week and kind of interning, and Emerson is Ray's son.
right.
So
And thank you for having him. He really
Yeah,
enjoyed
well,
his time here. You
fine.
guys did a good job. I think he wants to do something similar to this.
Yeah, I know.
He's a communication major, walking in his father's footsteps.
Yes. And now,
look what that got me. Yeah, well, I'm sure he'll be better.
yeah, I'm sure he'll be fine. Well, you got into something completely different. So why don't you talk about what you're doing now?
Yeah, well, sure. I am the director for distance learning and learning technologies at the College of Public Health, and I'm an instructional designer. Went on and got some.
Does that really mean anything, or you just put it on your business card, instructional designer?
I don't know. It means something. I mean, I probably a lot more than in the industry, a lot more than what I just told you. But yeah, I got there through communication. So I took photos all the way through high school, through the yearbook and newspaper, and so I did a lot of that work. And then when I got to school, I continued to take photos. But then I got more into video. We didn't have much video in high school, and at the time there was a network in the state of Iowa called the Iowa Communications Network, which had a point of sight in all 99 counties, which would allow our kids to take cello if you didn't have a cello teacher in Moravia, Iowa, and German and stuff like that. And then because of that, because I had a video background, I got into education, and then that led me to where I am now.
And so I know you're doing distance learning, but at one time you were hooking up hospitals, and was that right? You're doing the doctor,
Right. Washington County was one of our hospitals.
Right.
Mount Pleasant was one of
Are
our
you
hospitals.
still doing that part of it, or
No,
not so much?
I was with the College of Medicine when that
Okay.
was going on. But, at that time, the internet was not as robust as it was. So, I mean, they really relied heavily on that Iowa Communications Network.
Was that part of that?
Right,
Sure,
yeah.
okay.
And so that was the super high-speed internet, two-way interactive video. So we had presence in the emergency rooms. So if something would come into an emergency room in Washington County and they said, hey, we're going to send a helicopter or ambulance up to University of Iowa, here's what you're going to get in 35 minutes.
Right.
This is the patient. This is what's going on with them. So the people at the university could kind of have a head start on what they were going to get.
Right.
So.
So you reminded me, because I love this story. When we were in high school, you were taking pictures for the paper.
Right.
And sitting at your house, and you had a scanner. So you're like the only high school kid with a scanner.
Right.
That was like searching for news. So something came across it. We were 5 miles from Lake Rathbun.
Right.
And something came through on the scanner that a small airplane had crashed. I can't remember exactly what it said. Somewhere around Lake Rathbun or in Lake Rathbun or something like that. So Ray's like, let's go. And at the time, Ray and I went everywhere because Ray did not have his own car.
Right.
So loaded up in my Chevy S10 Blazer, and we're following cops all the way around, trying to figure out where this plane went down. And he had his camera, he's going to take pictures for the paper. And we see cops go down this gravel road. So we're like, well, let's just go down this gravel road and follow them. And it was the county sheriff and whatever. So we're driving down this road, and we're at this point, we're both thinking, yeah, we don't know where this road's going. We're not exactly sure what we're going to drive into.
It started out as a gravel road.
Yes.
Like a 2-lane gravel road. And then it got down to like a 1-lane, like shell gravel road.
Yes.
And then it got down to like 2 tire tracks and dirt.
Yes. And so we're driving, and we knew we're heading towards the lake, so we knew there's no way out of here, right? We're going to the lake or nothing. And at some point we're going to run into these police officers because there's nowhere else for them to go down this road. So we're driving down the road, and we're trying to decide whether we're going to turn around or what we're going to do. And all of a sudden there's a gentleman
out of the darkness.
Like
it's dark. It's dark.
It's nighttime. And out of nowhere is I would call him a little elderly gentleman, kind of came up, and he's standing alongside the road, and he's waving us down, and we're like, well, that's it. They're gonna tell us to turn around and get out of here. So we stopped, and he goes, I can't. He goes,
where's everybody going?
Yeah, that's right.
That's right. Well, there's a plane crash in middle of the lake, and he goes, I know, I was flying it.
Yeah.
Can I get a ride? And I was like, yes,
you can. And so it was the pilot of the plane. He crashed in the lake. He got to shore. It wasn't deep, I don't think. I don't know.
No, it wasn't too bad.
Yeah, so he crashed. He got out of the water. He's walking through some fields. He didn't know where he was, and he came out, and he was perfectly dry, if I remember correctly.
You know, the thing that I remember most about this is the dude smoked a pack of cigarettes like in the first day, like he was lighting cigarettes off of other, so somehow he kept the cigarettes dry.
Yeah. So maybe he just walked out. I don't remember how deep it was, but anyway, he was dry. So he like, can I get a ride? And we're like, yeah. And so our first instinct was to follow the cops, because the cops had to be at the end of this road,
right,
and take him to them.
Yep.
And he's like, no, I have to call my wife.
Right. His instinct was like not talk to the cops.
Not talk to the cops. His instinct was not to report to the cops. So he's like, no, I have to talk to my wife. And here we are. We're 17, 18 years old.
Yeah.
And like, okay.
Right.
And there's a house at the beginning of the road where we came from. And he was adamant. I have to make a phone call. And of course, this is pre-cell phones. Right. And he's like, I have to make a phone call. So we're like, all right. So we turned around and drove back towards the house. And I think when we got back did we drive? I think there's a cop at the end of that road by the time we got back there.
Right.
And so I think we took him to the cop.
Right.
And
yeah, I mean, that's kind of how I remember. We said we'd wait out here.
Yeah.
Because I said, we've got to tell the cops that you're alive, because they're going to be searching for you. And by that time, I think a state patrolman had kind of went to the end of
it blocked off that gravel road.
Right. Yeah. So
we found the pilot. And so that was a story. So it turned out that the plane crash was a story, but they did a whole big story about us finding the guy, I think, if I remember correctly.
Well, yeah. I mean, that night we were covering Pam Tillis at the county fair, taking photos of Pam Tillis.
Yeah.
And we were supposed to have the film. Was Tony Zadro So he was the publisher, editor of the newspaper there at the Iowegian, and we did not go back to the Iowegian. We went immediately out there, thinking that we were going to be back to the newspaper by 9:30 or whatever it was.
We didn't know if we could find it. We didn't know how close we would get to it. We didn't know anything. We were just driving.
We roll in like at 10:45, and he was not happy, and Tom was not happy.
But guess what we got?
Right? Yeah, we had a story that we were junior reporters that night.
And it was literally seniors in high school, and we found this pilot. So,
which in the grand scheme of things, I'm sure. I mean, we did have a news article that was like hours old when people read it in the morning. But
right. Yeah. Well, we're still talking about it 30 some years later. So.
us, you and I.
We're still talking about it, right? Now everybody else is involved too.
Probably the only other person that ever thinks about that is that poor family that somebody knocked on their door at 9:30 at night. Like, that's usually not a good thing when somebody knocks on your door out in the middle of the country at night.
All the cops came by. So anyway, all right, Nick, we better take a break and then we'll figure out something else to talk about.
At Seafirst Credit Union, we're all about making connections, like how we connect you with the flexible financing you need to install that all-season room or remodel your kitchen with a home equity line of credit. Connect with Seafirst today and see why together is better.
Introducing Hy-Vee Market Grill, where every meal is a delight. Start your day with our mouthwatering breakfast options and savor flavorful lunches with friends and family. Cap off your day with our delectable dinners. Hy-Vee Market Grill, where every moment is delicious.
Washington County Hospital and Clinics, providing quality health care that puts you first. Whether during a hospital stay, seeing a primary care provider for wellness exams or sick visits, minor surgery to a total joint replacement, or recovering from an injury, we're here when you need us.
More than you expect for your health care. Washington County Hospital and Clinics.
Ahoy, morning breathers, and welcome back. It is our Wednesday edition of Morning Breath. One more shout out to our sponsors, KCTC and all the gang over there. Thank you, Casey. And they sponsor the Southeast Iowa Video Network. And the crew here is sponsored by Hy-Vee and Hy-Vee Fast and Fresh in Washington, Mount Pleasant, and Fairfield. Thank you, Willie. So, Ray, you brought in some catalogs. You kind of tried to do a segue on this earlier. It would have been a good segue, except for I kind of jumped all over it. So
Right.
you're talking
That's
about
what happens with me.
That's what happens.
I start something and then I'm interrupted and then we forget
That's
about
kind of
it.
the story of your life.
Right.
It was me, especially, probably.
No, it's everybody. It's just not you. It's everybody. My kids do it to me.
So anyway, you're talking about catalogs that back in the day were the Amazon of the day, and you brought in. First of all, you have these catalogs,
Right. So I collected, or I still collect, like catalogs from our childhood, especially like it started off with I wanted to get the catalog from Star Wars, the year Star Wars came out,
right.
which Star Wars came out in 1977, but
Right.
they didn't have the merchandising for it. Matter of fact, they thought Star Wars was going to be a flop.
They thought it was going to be a huge flop.
Right. And so
They were wrong.
They're very wrong. So 78.
Now Disney owns it.
Yeah. Now it's, but they, so in 77, there's like sheets and bedspreads and stuff like that, but there weren't the little action figures. That first year, the only thing that you could buy was a cardboard box, an empty cardboard box that said Luke Skywalker, Darth Vader, C-3PO, Princess Leia. So I think there were like 9 action figures. So your parents would give you an empty cardboard box on Christmas morning, and then every month you would get a figurine
Really?
in
I
the
don't remember
mail.
that.
Oh yeah, that's how the Star Wars characters got rolled out as these ships came over from
Wherever they came from.
So anyway, yeah. So I went back and got the 78. I got a 77, which I had to get a 78 after I realized there wasn't Star Wars stuff in it.
Right.
I got the year the Cabbage Patch came out.
Oh,
So that was,
that would have been in the 80s sometime, right?
yeah, I think 83.
Yeah, okay.
Which was, it if you remember the Cabbage Patch doll, that was everywhere. Like
Yeah.
everywhere and nowhere. Like it would have been. They didn't really have like distribution. You could get it at.
You had to know somebody to
Right.
get a Cabbage Patch doll because you couldn't just. They were off the shelves. They never hit the shelves hardly.
Right. I mean, you could find them at Kmart and Target, but you could also find them like at a True Value.
Yeah, well, so my grandpa worked at True Value,
Right.
And that's how we got one because he unloaded the freight and he snagged one off and got one before they hit the shelves.
Right.
That's how my sister got one. Just to be clear,
Right. I mean, they were everywhere. Well, what's wrong with
nothing's wrong with that.
yeah.
Maybe I have a collection now. You don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's next to my Beanie Babies. It's in-
So yeah, it was. I mean, but going through these catalogs, it's kind of amazing the stuff that you could buy through a catalog at the time. And I mean, we're coming off, like we said, the Sears catalog, where a lot of times you didn't have that source in whatever town you were in to buy certain things. But I mean, going back through here, if you wanted to find a tobacco pipe,
yeah, just go to the catalog.
you had an option of like 6 pipes.
Exactly.
You could also buy guns.
Well,
You
there's
could-
Emerson's watching.
oh boy,
Yeah.
he says good morning.
Good morning, Emerson.
That's 7:36. That's pretty good for
Pretty
him.
good. He's in college.
Right.
Yeah. Anyway, go on.
The other thing that was kind of interesting in this is, so they have NFL stuff, but like the NFL wasn't the NFL we know now. I mean, it was branded the NFL, but it wasn't NFL everything. So when you would get, if you want to outfit your kid's room and have the lamp and the clock and everything, they would be silver and blue. It could be the Lions. It could be the Cowboys. I mean, it didn't say Cowboys on it. It was just a silver and blue lamp.
It could be East High in Columbus, Ohio. You didn't know.
Exactly. So, no, it's kind of fun to go back through these.
So
and
what you
look at
pointed
them.
out to me, and we talked on the phone last night and then this morning, and I think this is there's something telling about this: the pajamas, the kids' pajamas.
So it was all laid out. The adult clothes were at the very beginning. The toys were at the very end. You kind of had to slug through stuff. So you get to 4 pages of kids' pajamas. This is the 77. So you have 4 pages of kids' pajamas, and you turn the page, and here's 2 more pages of kids' pajamas. And up in the corner it says, all pajamas on these 2 pages are flame resistant. Which means the pajamas on the other 4 pages were not flame resistant.
Yes, so that must have been a big deal because it says pretty good size in the corner, flame resistant. It takes
Right.
up some real estate, so that was a big selling point because prior to that, all children when they went to bed were terrified not of the monster under the bed, but of like spontaneously
Right,
bursting
static
into
electricity.
Right,
You were one
spontaneously
shock
bursting
away
into
from
flame.
going up, and
So-
that was like everything. That
I
was
know.
like couches.
I
That was
know.
like carpet. Everything. back
Nick,
then.
you'll never know what it's like to grow up being afraid you're going to catch on fire in the middle of the night.
Right.
So everything is flame resistant now, but so you won't know the trauma.
Humidifiers
Is it
were
like a
big
real
sellers.
thing?
What's that?
So this was like a real thing.
Oh, children were just terrified. I'm kidding. Not really.
Well, it seems like there were just so many more candles back then. I mean, I don't know if it
Oh,
was.
not more than it is now. Now
Really?
you got every scent, and I mean, there's a lot more candles now. Now the candles then were not in glass jars; they were just sticks.
They were just candles,
and they
right.
just if they fell over, your pajamas caught on fire.
Right. Well, that was just it. I mean, it seemed like there were candles,
If you
and
walk
you're
by too quickly, your pajamas could just catch on
right,
fire.
right, just the essence of
Right.
flammable. Everything was petroleum, but yeah, couches were the big thing, and everybody
Yes.
smoked back then.
Yes.
So you would hear fire engines all the time because somebody would go to sleep and their cigarette would light their couch on fire. So
Yeah. And that ironically was not a deterrent to quit smoking in most cases.
it was just a good story.
It was just a good story. I woke up and my pajamas were on fire.
Right.
And my couch. But So anyway, I just a different time.
Looking back through it was kind of interesting though. The other thing that I found really super interesting was the 2 pages of CB radios.
Right.
It was, yeah.
It was the Snapchat before the day.
Right. Yeah, we had a CB radio, or my dad.
I know.
My dad was Burrhead. That was his handle, Burrhead.
My mom says, but if they weren't flame resistant, they were cheaper. So guess what you got? What I didn't get was lit on fire. So that's all good. It's all good. All right, Nick, we better take our last break and we'll come back and get set for the day.
All right.
In the heart of rural Iowa, where community matters most, the connections we make are made to last. Meet KCTC, your hometown internet, phone, and TV provider. At KCTC, we're not just about technology, we're about people. Our dedicated team are your neighbors, committed to bringing you top-tier services right where you live. We believe in giving back to the community that raised us. Experience the power of a real connection with KCTC. Join us in building a stronger, more connected Southeast Iowa.
Attention Hy-Vee shoppers, introducing Hy-Vee Perks, your ticket to exclusive savings and rewards. Access exclusive perks, prices, earn gas discounts, and unlock special deals. All this for free. Join Hy-Vee Perks today and start saving.
At the Capper Auto Group, we put our customers' needs first and understand that everyone is as different as the vehicle they select. We offer new Ford, Chevrolet, Buick, GMC, Jeep, Chrysler, Dodge, and Ram vehicles in a friendly environment that puts you in the driver's seat. When it comes to service, we maintain factory-trained technicians and competitive pricing. The Capper Auto Group still believes that service after the sale provides the best customer experience. Come see the Capper experience for yourself.
Hey, you want to see something really scary?
Thrills, chills, and things that go bump in the night. The Russians' House of Terror.
Federation Bank is a locally owned bank providing award-winning customer service. We believe that we are more than just a federation of banks, but a federation of communities, serving Brighton, Richland, Wellman, Washington, Iowa. Federation Bank's highly skilled staff is here to make sure you are able to accomplish your personal and professional goals, whatever they may be. Federation Bank, your family bank.
Yeah, I'm playing with my glasses. You caught me, right? Coming back to break, playing with my glasses. So, ahoy! Ahoy!
I catched him off break.
Good camera work. Coming right back, and you even did the countdown, so I appreciate that. And I still was playing with my glasses. I don't know what to think of them. Anyway, ahoy! Welcome back. So, anyway, we're, just having conversations. And I'm thinking about my mom buying me not flame resistant because they were cheaper. I'm not sure I'm settled with that yet.
No, we all had the same clothes on. I mean, I do remember, like, when you would go over to somebody's house, you're like, hey, we got that too. Well, that's because if it was not Montgomery Ward, Sears, or J.C. Penney's.
Right.
That's why everybody had everything the same.
True. All right, let's get set for the day. Time 7:44 a.m. It is September the 18th. Temperature right now in Fairfield, Mount Pleasant, Washington is 60 degrees across the board. Sun and clouds mixed today. It seems like it's been that way every day for a while now, but there's supposed to be maybe rain coming this weekend. High today of 86 and a low of 62. Things to do. Fairfield area artist talk with Ananda Kessler will be tonight at Freedom Forum Art Gallery within the Tetra building beginning at 7:30 p.m. Tomorrow night at the Moose Lodge in Mount Pleasant is trivia night. It starts at 7 and is open to the public. And Main Street, Washington is holding a 90s bingo bash tomorrow at Lebowski's from 6 to 9. You need to check out Main Street's Facebook page for more information. Get signed up. Do whatever you got to do. Get a team together. All that good stuff. This day in history, on this day in 1793, that was a little bit ago,
Yeah.
President George Washington laid the cornerstone of the Capitol building.
He was a Freemason. Is Tim a Mason?
Tim is a Mason.
Yeah.
No, Tim's a Shriner.
I think they're kind of the same
Is it the
thing,
same?
aren't they? They're
I don't know. Jimmy's usually on here. I haven't seen Jimmy this morning. Jimmy would know, but
maybe I'm Jimmy.
maybe you're maybe you're one and the same.
Well, I do know that he was a Freemason.
All right.
George Washington.
Well, there you go. There's a bust of him in our park over here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there you go. All right, gentlemen. It's weird. It's 7:45, so it's like on time. I hate to end like on time. We never end on time. All right. What's red and smells like blue paint? Red paint. You've watched the show. You're not supposed to laugh at those.
Oh. I laugh at home.
Yeah. I'm just carrying over.
Right. No.
So, all right. Well, Ray, thank you very much for coming down. Thank you for sharing the Amazon of the day.
Yeah.
Appreciate
Thanks for having
it.
me.
Of course.
Thanks for having Emerson.
Yeah.
That was really nice
Yeah,
of you.
absolutely. Nick, thank you as always. And we'll be back tomorrow with the glorious Greta. And Greta and I will figure out something else to talk about. So until tomorrow, have a good day.